In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of connecting an RJ45 connector to the end of a twisted pair Ethernet cable with the 568B standard to show you the process of how you would create your own network cables or you would repair a broken one. Now to do so, you're going to need a basic kit like you see right here. This is an $18 kit that I picked up off of Amazon, and what this has, it has a crimping tool. It has a punch down tool, which we won't be using, but definitely this will come in handy if you end up working in the networking field. It has a tool right here to strip off the PVC jackets off of our Ethernet cables. It also has a testing tool to test our cables to make sure they work after we create them or if we repair one. It also has some other things right here that we don't need to talk about, but it also has some RJ45 connectors. These ones are shielded, which is very nice, and it has some protective boots as well. So this is a basic kit. And like I said, they're fairly inexpensive. And if you decide to go into the networking field, it's always a good idea to have something like this. So let me go ahead and clean off this area, and then we'll continue on with the video. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to take a connector like this, an RJ45 connector, and connect it to the end of a twisted pair Ethernet cable. Now we're not gonna create a cable from scratch on both ends, just because if you know how to do it on one end, then you can do it on the other end. Now, in regards to doing this, you would either use 568A or 568B. And the question is, well, which one do you use? Well, you need to inspect what's being used in your environment. Yes, newer networking equipment is going to auto-sense and fix incorrect pinouts, but it's always a good idea to go ahead and wire them correctly. So what I've done is, let me pull over this cable right here and bring it up into view. This is a patch cable that I recently purchased from monoprice.com, which is where I purchase a lot of my cables. And what you're going to notice on here is that it says that this is 568B, and a majority of cables now are wired with the 568B standard instead of the 568A. So it's always a good idea to verify which one you're going to use because you want consistency within your network environment. So let's walk through this process. So the first step is to go ahead and strip off part of this PVC outer coat, this outer jacket. And what we want to do is take our stripping tool like this one that you see right here and just simply take a cable like this one. We'll assume this is a long cable that we're fixing. And we take this and we choose the proper stripping area in here. You're going to notice that there are little grooves here for different size cables. This one's going to fit in the biggest one. And then you want to take this and only spin it one rotation, because if you spin it more than one rotation, then you risk the chance of actually not only cutting this outer jacket, but also cutting the inside cables as well. So if we give this a twist, you're going to notice that's going to pop off, and then it's going to expose these inner twisted pairs. And now what we want to do is we want to take these and spread them out and then untwist them. So I've already gone ahead and I've done that for the sake of time. Let me slide this out of the way. So what you want to do is like this, go ahead and spread them out like so. And we don't want them really twisted at all. We want them untwisted and not twisted together. So get it to the point like this. And then after you do that, we then want to put it in the correct order, which is going to be our 568B. So let me go ahead and show you what that would be. Of course, you already know, but we want to make sure that it looks something like this, where everything is nice and straight. So I went ahead and put a demonstration together with an unshielded twisted pair. Then after you do that, we're going to go ahead and cut it to the correct length. And whether it is shielded or unshielded, which this one is unshielded and this one is shielded, we're going to choose the proper RJ45 connector for that. So for an unshielded, we'll just put our standard unshielded RJ45 connector. And then for a shielded one, of course, we're going to put a shielded RJ45 connector on that. So let's go ahead and slide that out of view. And let's take a look at this. So what I've already done with this one is I purposefully cut this very long so you could see the different strands. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead and let me take this off of here. You want to get these into the correct order, which I've already done. And what I like to do is kind of just massage these into place. I like to kind of move them around and get them to the point where if we twist them back and forth, they get to the point where they're nice and straight. And then what you do is you get them in the correct order, which is going to be our 568B. And then once it's in the correct order, what we do is we take our crimping tool. This is what I like to do. And I like to make sure that these are nice and straight, so it's a 90-degree cut on the end, because what you're going to notice when you start putting these together is that it's going to be a bit jagged. They're going to be all over the place, but we want it to be nice and clean and straight, so when it goes into the RJ45 connector, it's a nice clean connection all the way to the end of the tip. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So this one is going to be orange, white, orange, and let me go ahead and put this in the correct order. So orange, white, orange, green, white, then blue, and then blue, white, and then green, and then brown, white, and then brown. So now I have this in the correct order. I'm going to go ahead and take my crimping tool that has this little cutoff right here where I can make this a nice clean cut. So I'll take that into there and I'll just press down. It'll cut it nice and clean. So now we have a nice straight 90-degree edge cut here. And then when we connect it into the RJ45 connector, and one thing you're going to notice is that they may tend to go out of place, so you have to hold it really tight. And then you slide it into here. And remember, with the orange, white, and the orange, pin 1 is going to be the top where we can see the metal connectors here, not the actual push down. That's going to be on the bottom. We're going to push it in nice and tight. And then once it's in there, make sure that you look in here and you verify that everything is in the correct order, because again, sometimes they'll move out of order and you need to put it back into the correct order. So this is not one that I'm actually going to crimp down because it's way too long. What we want is something like this. So let me go ahead and pull in a different cable. Let's go ahead and slide these things out of the way. But what I've done is this one is not crimped down yet. But what I've done, and let me bring this up a bit, is with the RJ45 connector, we want to make sure that this PVC jacket is also within here, within the RJ45 connector, to the point where it's about right there, because this is a crimp point right here, where it's going to lock it into place right there. And these are also going to be locked down as well, these metal connectors. So once we get it into there, and I really like to make sure that it's in there tight, so I push it in like so. And then I'll take my crimping tool. And with the crimping tool, I have 2 of them, so let me bring the other one over as well. The crimping tools are going to have RJ11 and RJ45 crimpers, and this one has an RJ45 here, this one has it here. So you simply take it into your tool, put it in the proper way, in nice and tight, and then just crimp down nice and tight. And then go ahead, take that out, and take a look, and try to tug on it, see if it comes loose. If it doesn't come loose, then it's crimped in properly. And that's all there is to it, but we still need to test. So what we can do, and let me slide everything out of view because I already have this set up, is once we're ready to test, what we do is we take our basic tester, we take a cable. I already have one of my small Cat 5e ones in here, plug in both sides, and we turn it on, and I'm going to turn this on to slow mode. And what you're going to notice where it shows green lights, that means that there's a connection that's correct for each cable. And there's one for each of the 8 cables, and there's one for ground if we have a ground. And if you get a solid green on each side, it means that your cable is set up and working properly. So that's the process. And like I said, this would be the process if you were repairing a cable. You would simply just do one side like we did right now. But if you're creating a cable, then you would do both sides. So you would do one side, then do the other, and then test it. So anyways, hopefully that was helpful and beneficial for those of you that are interested in learning this and practicing this on your own. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to know where I got my testing kit specifically, feel free to ping me. They're always going to change in regards to what's available. I can provide you recommendations. So again, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next video. Take care. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's video and you learned a lot from it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Now, if you're interested in taking this full course or just learning more about it, check out the video description down below because I've included a link where you can learn more about the course and enroll into it if you'd like. So again, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it and I look forward to seeing you guys at the next video. Take care.